We're going to talk some fantasy football, and it's brought to you by Fantasy Sports Combine. We'll tell you more about that fun event coming up at the Wynn in Las Vegas in July. So it's never too early to talk fantasy.
Right.
So I've got to, right out of the chute, I got to ask you a question about the local team. The Broncos have all these players that rack up a lot of fantasy points. Right? Receivers, running backs, the quarterback certainly. The loss of Ryan Cleddy at left tackle, is that going to impact the way you might draft a Denver Bronco this year?
Well, you guys have talked about it a little bit today, and I wanted to get into it. First of all, I think it's a good point that you made up earlier that Chris Clark, they were fine with him, fine without Clady 2 years ago.
Record setting.
But it is a new offense, and tackles are important in the zone blocking scheme. But I think the important thing is this injury has happened early enough that the Broncos will be able to correct it and do something about it. Like Troy Rank, I think it more affects the running game, which is a big deal, especially if you're talking about the Broncos scoring less points, which is an even bigger deal when you're talking about some of the fantasy superstars on this team, including Manning, Sanders, Demaryius Thomas, and the like. I think that if the Broncos do score less points, Broncos defense, obviously, is going to bump up there.
Take the Broncos defense.
Take the Broncos defense.
Yeah, Woody was saying that.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to
Okay, then I'll ask him the next question.
Right.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the pizza and Bobby coming up.
Okay,
and,
then I'll hit him with another.
Okay.
Because I play fantasy football. The draft was laden with good talent at wide receiver this year, very deep. Rookie wide receivers. Who do you like?
This year, I'm liking Devontae Parker. He's coming out of Louisville. He's playing for the Miami Dolphins right now. He's made waves in the OTAs, even beating out Pro Bowl cornerback Brent Grimes. A lot of people are talking about his hands and how great he is. He's a 6'3" guy, big dude, big frame, making tough catches in traffic, and that's what you like to see. Another good thing about the Dolphins is if like Mike Wallace and Brian Hartline, Charles Clay, Brandon Gibson, they're all gone.
Yeah.
And now you've got some new veteran guys in Greg Jennings and Kenny Stills. Stills was the deep threat guy for New Orleans last year. But based on what we saw from Jarvis Landry, this team, if a rookie's good enough, is not afraid to plug him into the lineup real quick. And I like that about Devontae Parker. And if he continues to shine, I think he could be a great late-round pick for fantasy owners.
Sure, Miami's going to be an improved team, and Tannehill just got the big contract.
Right.
He's been ascending. Each year his stats have gotten better. I think Tannehill's a guy to look at.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a fantasy player, but
he's a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
I think that they're going to be much more pass-oriented than they have been in the past.
Last thing, if Adrian Peterson is with the Minnesota Vikings, you think he's going to give him all he's got? I mean, is he a guy that you take in the first round? I mean, normally?
You still trust Adrian Peterson. If he plays for the Vikings, he plays on your fantasy team. That's the bottom line there. I think a lot of this, his Twitter rant, all this crap that's going on, it's just a bunch of kicking and screaming. Now that Peterson has come out and said that it's not really against the Vikings, it's more about just securing his future. We're talking about cash right now, gentlemen. So bottom line is AP is still all day for you.
Sure, and if he wants to get his contract runs until 2017. If he wants to continue to get his money, he needs a big year and to prove that he's not on the decline, that he's still Adrian Peterson of 2 years ago.
Right.
He's Hugh Johnson, digital producer of sports for the Denver Post and fantasy guru. Thanks, Hugh.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man.
Take care.
And that NFL update sponsored by the Fantasy Sports Combine. The Fantasy Sports Combine, the ultimate experience for serious fantasy football players. It's coming this summer to the Wynn, Las Vegas, July 17th to the 19th. You can join the likes of Adam Schefter, Matthew Berry, another fantasy sports big guy, Brandon Marshall, Mike Shanahan, Mike Ditka. They're all going to be there. You can be there with them getting fantasy advice from those guys. So get your tickets today at fantasysportscombine.com.